Let's talk about cholesterol. I mean, just hearing the word can make you a little nervous, right? It's always painted as the villain, the bad guy in our health story that we have to fight. But is that the whole story? We're going to dive into this because what cholesterol actually is and what it does is way more interesting than you might think.
So let's just ask it straight up. Is cholesterol really just a villain? Is its only job to mess things up for us? Well, the answer to that is a huge, resounding no. Actually, you couldn't survive without the stuff.
You know, cholesterol is kind of like a character with a double identity. On the one hand, yeah, it's the villain, we all know. Too much of the wrong kind and it starts clogging up your arteries, leading to really serious stuff like heart attacks and strokes. But on the other hand, it's an absolute hero. I mean, it is the fundamental building block of every single cell in your body. It helps create essential hormones, and it even helps you digest your food, so you literally can't live without it. Okay, so if cholesterol can be both good and bad, how do we tell the difference? Well, it all comes down to how it gets around in your body. So let's meet the main characters in this drama, what we call the good and the bad cholesterol.
First up, we've got LDL, which stands for low-density lipoprotein. The easiest way to think about LDL is as a delivery truck. Its whole job is to carry cholesterol out to your cells where it's needed. But here's the problem. If you have way too many of these delivery trucks on the road, they start to pile up, causing traffic jams and blockages in your arteries. And that buildup, that's what we call plaque. And that's exactly why LDL gets its reputation as the bad cholesterol.
And now for the hero of our story. HDL, or high-density lipoprotein. So if LDL is that messy delivery truck, HDL is like the super-efficient cleanup crew. It goes around, finds all that extra, leftover cholesterol stuck to your artery walls, and hauls it back to the liver so your body can get rid of it. It's actively fighting against those blockages, which is why we call it the good cholesterol.
But wait, the story isn't just about LDL and HDL. There's another really important character we need to introduce. Think of it as a powerful sidekick that plays a huge role in this whole situation: triglycerides.
So let's be clear, triglycerides are not cholesterol. They're a totally different kind of fat, and their main job is all about energy. When you eat, your body takes any calories it doesn't need for immediate energy and, boom, converts them into triglycerides for storage. This process really kicks into high gear with things like sugar and alcohol, and that's where the trouble can start.
And here is the kicker. Even though their job is different, having high levels of triglycerides is just as risky as having high LDL. They actually contribute to that same dangerous hardening of the arteries, so you really have to pay attention to them too.
Okay, we've met all the players, but how does any of this stuff apply to you in the real world? Well, let's talk about how to make sense of those numbers you get back from the doctor on your health report.
All right, think of this chart as your personal scorecard. Let's walk through it. For your total cholesterol, you ideally want to be under 200. Anything over 240 is considered high. Then you have LDL, the bad guy. For this one, lower is better. Under 160 is the goal. Now with HDL, our good cholesterol, it's the opposite. You want this number to be high. For men, that's over 40, and for women, over 50. If it's low, it means your cleanup crew is understaffed. And finally, triglycerides. You want to see that number under 150. All four of these numbers together give you the full story.
Let's really focus on this for a second. If you see a total cholesterol number over 240 on your report, that's a high alert. It's a big red flag that says, hey, pay attention, it's time to take some action.
And on the flip side, this one is just as critical. If your HDL, the good cholesterol, is too low, that's another danger sign. It means your body's natural defense system for clearing out your arteries just isn't strong enough, and that leaves you vulnerable.
So, all of this leads to the million-dollar question, right? Why do these numbers go haywire in the first place? Is it just random, or are there specific things that push them into that danger zone?
Well, it's really a mix of things. Your genetics definitely play a part. If high cholesterol runs in your family, you might be more prone to it. But our lifestyle choices are a massive piece of the puzzle. Things like a diet loaded with saturated fats, not getting enough exercise, smoking, even being under a lot of stress, they all can mess with your numbers. And on top of that, other health conditions like diabetes can have a big impact too.
Okay, so what can we actually do about it? This is the best part, because this is where you get to take back control. You can't change your genes, but you have a ton of power over all those lifestyle factors. So let's build an action plan.
Here are 5 clear steps you can take. First, your diet. Try to cut back on saturated fats from animal sources and bring in more healthy fats from plants. Second, get moving. Regular exercise works wonders. Third, and this one is huge, if you smoke, quitting is one of the best things you can do for your heart. It directly hurts your good HDL. Fourth, be smart with alcohol. A little bit might actually help, but too much will send your triglycerides through the roof. And finally, manage your stress. It has a real physical effect on your body.
And this really brings us to the main takeaway. The most powerful control you have is right at home. The choices you make every day with your food, your activity, and how you live your life, they can make a massive difference in your numbers.
So, there you have it. We figured out cholesterol's double identity. You know the good guys, you know the bad guys, and now you have a game plan. You have the knowledge. So the only question left is, what's your next move going to be?